Hey, I was just... Why can't you tell me what's in it?
Also bring a glass of bubbly and a Jeff.
No, don't do that!
Say, is that the master of ceremony?
Oh,
Hello there, sir.
We need to figure out what caused that explosion. Let's move out.
You do. Seriously. Okay, I'll pay.
We end this now. You got it, buddy. Damn!
Come on, come in, you copy? Yeah, I'm here now. No, nothing. It's quiet here, over.
And here's my explanation for the Sapienza run, where we start as the chef undercover in the mansion with the ICA-19. The DAC X2 covert is stashed at the pantry with a proximity demo block and the hobby knife. Now, the reason I start with the knife and not pick up the knife from the counter is because we want to get the explosive guy to run as fast as possible. So there's this knife here. Now if I picked it up from the start, it's about probably half a second delay. So I don't want to do that. So instead I start with the knife and just go straight past it. So with this guy, this is completely random. We shoot him and hope that he will come either by himself or at such a lead that this guy won't even catch up when he blows up. There's no way around it. So what we do, we just line up, shoot. Now here we got to pick up this DAC. This is almost entirely random whether you'll pick it up and not those cans. So if we get lucky. Now where this gets interesting, I use a proximity demo block because it's got a huge radius, which is what I need because this guy runs fast and we need him to go down. Only this seems to be reliable doing it. Now with this, I want this to land at the top of the stairs and bounce there. So watch what happens. This guy hears it and he'll go and inspect. So he'll take a look.
Okay, that was mildly annoying.
Look, he sees it. And now he's off. And if this guy was coming by himself, then we'd be perfectly good. Because when he blows up, no one will see it. But of course, we didn't get it. What can happen though is if the other target is ahead, he can fly so far ahead that this other guy doesn't see it. So that's pretty cool. I use the DAC in my run because it is the quickest way to open this door by far. Now this particular shot, you can hit it without moving the camera left or right as I do, left, right. But it seems to be a bit more reliable because if I aim here, I can actually sometimes hit this thing. So I aim left, and there we go. The thing is, even if the DAC hit here, she's panicked and she won't even see you shoot. It's pretty cool. Now to get the rest of this run, so what I do is I do a triple shot panic to bring this guy towards me, but I can't shoot from too close, otherwise these people start to spot me. So about there. See, get spotted. So you have to be very careful, and the idea is to time this so we get him at this exact point where I hit this guy when he's normally there. The taking out of this guard is entirely luck. There's no other way to put it. Because his body can fall in a way that he won't get seen. So watch his friends looking at him. His friend leaves soon. So if I hit him from any time from about 33 onwards, hopefully he won't get seen. See these guards here, they may head turn like right now. So if you ping him down around there, then you're safe to escape. So that's how Sapienza worked. Now for my explanation on sgail, start with the chef, smuggling in the proximity, the remote explosive duck, starting with the trank and the phone. So to get this to work well, we need the guy at the start, the chef at the start, to pick up the phone without taking a step. We have to be very careful not to bump him as well, which is a bit tricky. So ideally we want to put it right there. You'll see it immediately. Didn't take a step. And of course we detonate it. And we need to get lucky that he falls backwards, which is of course a fast animation. Otherwise it takes way too long, so that's a good one. And now to show how it works with the rest of the run. So you see, we wait until he starts to pick it up animation, we detonate. Because if we detonate too early, then he'll react to it ringing and not pick it up. So quick throw this, knock him out, drop the explosive, set it up. Now I'm going to change. Now we need to pay attention to the noise of him hitting the ground. Wait for it. That noise there. So that noise indicates when he's finally been taken out and when the disguise restrictions count. So as long as so I can be currently changing disguises as he's falling. As long as I change just at that right moment, I'll get away with it. Also, the remote breach charge has more range than I think people give it credit for. This will definitely take him out. Now sometimes when this happens, she sees that guy and gets panicked and she can run in there and you get body seen, but it's pretty rare. So here though, we get the cleaver, the apple and the duck. Now we use the apple because when you knock out this woman with the apple, she doesn't care and just gets right back up and it's great. So these guards will hear it and look, but they'll just investigate where it hits. And they won't look any further. And she goes right back to doing what she's doing. When that guy's down, of course, they won't see him. Now the reason I do the drag pickup is because sometimes he doesn't have the quickest animation, like what he did there. If he falls backwards, then you can do a quick pickup immediately. But if he falls forwards, if you try to change clothes, you get the slow animation. So that's why I drag him first. Now here, it's actually very rare RNG that sometimes when you start, this pit can be on fire already and Zoe is walking through, but it's so rare, it doesn't even matter. Now the reason we use the explosive duck here and not the concussive is because I want to panic these two guys out here. I want them to run out here, but more than that, it's like the duck overrides this. As you see, I have a loud shotgun. The duck will override the loud shotgun from these two guys. So they aren't a concern. It's the guys in there that are concerned for the loud shotgun. So you watch what happens. Detonate this. Now that they don't care. See, now what I could do is I can run in here and they are not looking. That's why I could stand here and go for the double trank. Just to prove a point, if I pull up the shotgun, see, they don't care. So now I'm going to show you how the next part works. So when these two guys are tranked, what's going to happen is when I shotgun this custodian, in the radar room there's 4 guards. If they don't react immediately and don't run in, then I'm generally okay. Pretty often, only 2 of them will seem to react, and they stall for a bit. If all 4 do, then they seem to come charging in, but most of the time it's just 2 and we get away quite safely. So watch what happens. This, blow open the door. See how only 2 are alight in the bottom left and 2 are not. So I'm going to should get away with this. Yep. And the panic here at the end is entirely RNG whether you get away with it, but most of the time you do. So that's scale. And here's my explanation on Miami, where we start the Dolphin Fountain, ICA 19, Firewire, and Remote Concussive Duck. So what we want to do, we want to wait out almost the entire cutscene so the first guard moves far along in his path. So we cancelled it about here. We need to watch the guard on the roof as well. So you see how he's called in? That means it's no good, because as everyone knows, that guard is a bit random. Now we watch, we cut in just a fraction earlier, this guard upstairs is not going to call in and cross his arms, he's actually going to continue his walk. So that's the timing we... So in here I use a concussive duck and not the explosive, because the concussive actually has less sound and the guards inside can't hear it. That's a very big difference, I don't want to panic. Do that. Shoot there. Now watch what happens. So this is obviously not a real wall. We're just going to watch where he goes and see where that shot actually went. So you can see, and that's pretty much where he stops. So we see. You can see it's actually not a wall. Because on the other side of this is this cover for the other aquarium. So when I shoot through it, I'm hitting, as you can see, this area up here. If I hit anywhere around here, that's what I'm trying to do. So it's good. Sometimes you can shoot here and they may have a different reaction, but it's like he'll slow down and his friend will walk off and then he can grab him as he walks past, which also works honestly for the run the exact same. Now I'll explain how this panic works, which is very odd and I don't understand it entirely. What we want to do is land 3 shots roughly here, such that he hears all 3 and this guard can hear 0, 1 or 2, but if he hears 3, this guy will run towards me. So it's a bit odd, but this should work. 2, 3. See? Panic, no panic. That's what we want. Now, even though he's running this way on this one, that was because I just hung around for too long. When you do this at full speed, you see in the run how he tears off here at full speed. So this part, what I want to do is shoot the roof anywhere around here. That will cause the scientist to go and investigate upstairs. And the same for this guard. I'm going to watch what happens. If I put the bullet right about here, watch where these 2 guys are going to go wander off to. So there is some potential to line up a double kill here if you wanted to, but doesn't really add much. He's heading somewhere in the hallway, it looks, of near Robert's office. So something cool I found to get past these 2 guys quite reliably is instead of trying to go through the door and angle a shot, it's quite hard to not get seen, but there's a fairly easy way to do it. So what we're going to do, we're going to move the camera to the left, and if I put the scientist and this door frame and the cursor in between it, and I stand up in line with the door, I can actually open the door while still scoped in. So I use instinct to see where it is, move up, open, shoot, and the investigation of the bullet impact will override them looking for me. And that's Miami.